Hello, thanks for joining me for another video beer review. Today we're heading off to Germany again, and this is a re-review. I reviewed this beer in September of 2015, so it's almost 5 years ago. So I thought it'd be time to do another review of it, just to see where I'm at with this beer. It's one of them classic German, well-known Weissbiers, and yeah, it's from Erdinger. Erdinger Weissbräu, and this is their Erdinger Weissbier, or Hefeweizen if you want to call it that, wheat beer. There's lots of kind of like in between sort of wordings for it, but yeah, purchased just up the road from me in my local corner shop, literally about 100 yards away. They had it in there. I was like, what you got it in there for? So I thought, yeah, I'll pick it up. So I thought I'd give it another review. What the hay? Or what the wheat? Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there's the crown. Quite a nice, striking looking crown there. I will put the link down below of what I thought of this beer when I was a lot thinner. And back in my early kind of months of beer reviewing. Which is almost 5 years, well, over 5 years ago now, which is crazy. So these guys are out of Erding in Bayern in Germany, which is I think it's in Bavaria, down in the southern part of Germany. So yeah, 500ml bottle then, best before May of 2021. I should tell you when these guys first, yeah, been established since 1886. So they've been going a while, you know. They know their Weiss beers. So let's crack it open then. And I haven't got an actual Hefeweizen glass for this. Well, I have, but I choose not to because it's really an awkward glass to actually wash. It's got that kind of thin lower part of the actual glass. So I'm just going for a straight pint glass for now. My local brewery as well. So we'll throw a little shout out to them. So anyway, it's going to be really carbonated, so I'm going to be a little bit careful with pouring this. So we want a little bit of a head, but not crazy. And I mean, I'm pouring it fairly careful, and it's still creating a head here. So okay, let's just generate that classic style look. We'll stop it there. So it's a 2-finger, which is, you know, what you would kind of expect for the style of beer in a slightly kind of straight pint glass. So yeah, look at the carbonation, proper roaring, as you'd expect for the style of beer. It's just absolutely backward snow looking beer. Really nice creamy looking head, as you'd expect. 1.5 fingers of real nice, tightly packed bubbled head on this one, being reinforced by that, you know, progressive carbonation from below. Really kind of moussey white mousse on top, but it's actually dissipating quite quickly down to a 1 finger now while I've been gassing away. So yeah, this beer, I've just realised how many check-ins this beer has had. We'll get into that after, but wow. Or the brewery, should I say. It's not actually the beer, it's the brewery. Pretty impressive numbers, but so yeah, looks good in the glass. It's got that classic kind of you know, kind of light, not amber, but orangey sort of colour. You can see down the bottom of the glass there, it's a bit more clearer. It goes into more of a haze before, you know, the thickness of the glass is kind of demonstrating the haze level, if you like. Yeah, it's slightly hazy. You can see through the glass once you put it up to the light and all that sort of jazz. So let's give it a swirl and a sniff then. So this is one of the world's kind of like classic Hefeweizens from Germany, so which most of them are, of course. So let's get an aroma. It's that classic bubblegummy, slightly herbaceous, banana, you know, the typical kind of things you would expect from the style. There's a little bit of kind of like cracked what is it? Yeah, white pepper, spice, clove, herbaceous of coriander. You know, the usual suspects for the style of beer, and it's all there. Yeah, I'd say more white pepper than anything else. It's not crazy on them aromas that I've just mentioned, but maybe in the taste we'll get a little bit more of a kind of pronounced flavour profile. So anyway, cheers. Prost, that's the word I was thinking. Prost again. I'm going to cloud it up a little bit. It's a very refreshing, easy drinking beer. I know I've noticed recently there's a lot of people that don't like wheat beers. I think, or Hefeweizen is what you want to call them, wheat beers, Hefs. Is it white? White ales, I think there's another one. It's nice. It's easy drinking. It's very refreshing. It's got a nice kind of orangey, kind of zesty piff to it. Yeah, banana, clove, coriander, bubblegum-esque, but very well kind of rounded and blended and smooth. There's not one kind of thing overthrowing the other with the beer. It's all very subtle in each department. Carbonation, excuse me, I know it's a burp, but it is what it is. It's one of them styles of beer that you're going to expect that, and especially gulping a few mouthfuls. This is probably one of the carbonated styles of beer that I generally drink. I mean, I could have poured it straight down the middle and I would have about that much kind of beer and then that much of head, which would have obviously helped the carbonation kind of get out the bottle, etc. But doing a review as well, you also want to get an aroma, so the more head you've got, you can't actually get the aroma to more of an effect. So it swings and roundabouts, so you've got to put up the burps. It's one of them deals. But yeah, I mean, it's a classic beer, drinking perfectly to style. And this one is actually tasting really decent. Whereas I was amazed that my local corner shop had this in. It's one of them things, it just, you know, for a corner shop that generally kind of sells the mainstream lagers, ciders, and all that sort of type of beer, with a few kind of ales, but you know. And I think they've had Brewdog in before, and like perhaps Dead Pony Club, and you know, that kind of thing. And then I went in there, looked around, and like, oh, saw that, and it was like on a reduced part. So I went ahead and checked the date. I was like, oh, it's May next year. So I'm like, yeah, I'll have that. Obviously, it doesn't sell because people don't know what it is. But yeah, a classic German style from a classic German brewery. So Erdinger Weissbier. It's a very easy drinking beer. I mean, I can't even remember what the ABV is now. I don't think I even mentioned it earlier. 5.3% ABV. But yeah, that is an absolute iconic, almost trademark emblem there. I'm sure you can get this in the States. It's probably one of the regular you go to your well beer department. It's almost certainly going to be there, and it's definitely common throughout Europe. I think this beer in certain parts of Madeira was a ridiculous price. I remember seeing it, I think, in one of the places down by Funchal. If you ever go to Madeira, there's a bar very close to the harbour. I think they were charging like something like €12 for a bottle of this. For one 500ml bottle, which is right next to where the cruise liners come in. €12 a bottle is just, it's about a tenner a bottle, £10 sterling a bottle, and I got this for I think £1.50 reduced to clear, and it's like well in date. It just shows you go to these touristy resorts whether there's cruise liners come in, you know, prices near the port are crazy high. It's just an absolute rip-off, to be honest with you. There's no other word for it. I know they've got to make their money, but that wasn't even recently. That was like 2 years ago when I last visited. So it was nothing to do with like 2020, the year of 2020, which you know what's going on. This is like almost 2 years ago, and they're charging €12 a bottle. Yeah, I didn't. So anyway, back to beer in hand. Very easy drinking, very refreshing. I'd say to a degree fairly sensible. Very sessionable. A sessionable, sensible beer. You could drink this all day long. Not much else more to say about it really. Looks great in the glass. One more taste and I'll give it a rating. For a Weissbier, Hefeweizen, wheat beer, whatever you want to call it. I've had a few more since I first reviewed it. I can't even remember what I actually gave it a review kind of thing of. I'm just looking at the photograph now on Untapped. I didn't give a rating on Untapped back then for it, although it was on the review, I think. I think it's great. It's a straight up 8 out of 10. So it's a 4 out of 5 for me on the Untapped scale in 2020, where we are now. So it's really nice to actually do a re-review of some of these kind of beers when I first started. Yeah, an absolute classic German beer from Erdinger. It's a Hefeweizen, if you like. Yeah, awesome stuff. Been around since 1886. I love all the history of some of these breweries. Let's get back up to the ratings on the page. Incidentally, I'm not going to go through everything, you know. This brewery has had 448,442 check-ins from this brewery on its own, which is 5,609 in the last 30 days. All of their beers on Untapped, which is awesome. Which is one of the reasons why I use Untapped to compare and, you know, scores with beers, because I do feel that Rate Beer and Beer Advocate, they're just nowhere near the level of these guys. So Anyway, let's get the actual beer page up, and that can't be right. That was actually, I was actually quoting the actual number of, I just realised I was quoting, I thought it was the brewery, it's not. That is just this beer. 448,000 check-ins of this beer. 5,609 in the last 30 days of this beer. This beer has had ratings of just over 250,000 total ratings. That is just insane. Insane. Anyway, it's coming in at 3.66, which for me, I think that's quite low. Although that's a hell of a lot of 250,000. So if you throw that into the actual pot of ratings, it's almost a 7.5 out of 10, which for 250,000 ratings is very impressive. I guess it levels itself out, but yeah, I'm giving this a straight up 4 out of 5, which is an 8 out of 10 if you're on that scale. So let me know if you had it before. I know it was a long review, but I really wanted to go into depth with this one because it's just really nice to actually do a re-review of a beer that from 5 years ago, and I think we could be getting into more German beers in the next few weeks and months. So Erdinger, their Weissbier, their Hefeweizen, 5.3% ABV, 13 IBUs as well, by the way. I just found that one out. So so yeah, awesome stuff. Great wheat beer if you like your wheat beers. So let me know if you've had it before. I'm sure a lot of you have down below. Let me know down below. As I've said, I'd be really interested in your thoughts and opinions on it. It's one of them beers that's so easily available, certainly in the UK, in various supermarkets, and certainly in the places I've been, it's always been available, certainly Portugal, but yeah, it's going to be all over Europe, I would imagine, and certainly in the States, although a bit more pricier than your world beer departments wherever you are. But yeah, be really interested to know your thoughts on this one. It's a beer review that has served me quite well in the past, so yeah, thought I'd update it and see what I thought now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.